magistrate reached a verdict. I have guilty or innocent. Spare me this mockery.
Oh man, and what, the OS updated for you?
Yeah,
Gave you what you needed?
Yeah. So I was like, great.
I like that.
All right.
It just brought you forward to the future. Yeah, we actually went to Staples because Kate wanted to get some, I don't know, fucking odd stationery stuff. And I said, well, since you're the breadwinner, you go ahead. We'll get you whatever you need.
That's nice of you.
And since she's the big boss, so we took her out and she did that. And then we got the fucking, I was checking out the new iPads. That's how you know your iPad really sucks shit, when you handle one of those new ones. And they're like, oh, wow, it's supposed to be like this, eh?
10 years of improvement all at once.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
too
a hard
much,
fucking, it's a lot to take.
That's like a Crow moment of like all those memories flooding into you.
Yeah, but the Google Chromecast TV was on sale for $49, so I got one of those. $49 is my price point. Apple doesn't meet me there, It
does not cater to that price point. Interested in that price point.
No, not interested in whatsoever. That's why I go down the Google path, sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't mind being fucked for my privacy.
Do you think Apple doesn't do that?
They do it in a nicer way.
Yeah, you're right. It's more of a gentle caress. It's more of a sensuous massage of your
It's
privacy.
more like
reach around.
It's like a fucking, it's like just a gentle reminder. We only use this between us,
Yeah. It's a lot like reading the comics of today's episode. Our sexploitation. I don't know. I called it the Tournament of Hearts at first.
That's good.
That's nice. Yeah. That's classy. I like
that. Yeah. The where we're gonna put up head to head. Sorry, I had a flashback to fucking head to head, ass to ass. What's that fucking movie? The the Aronofsky movie, the one where the guy loses his arm. It's the worst ending in the world. I'm going to be on television. Can't believe I can't remember the name of that goddamn movie. Oh well. So we're gonna put these people up against each other. These representative comics of bad girl sexploitation comics of the 90s, but also of the 70s classics, and see who comes
revived
out on top.
In the 90s.
Revived in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Vampirella came back in a big way.
What?
Yeah, she's still back. Dynamite makes Vampirella comics to this day, like tons of them. Red Sonja as well, also Dynamite comics. Obviously, Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, never gave up. Witchblade, Michael Turner passed away in 2008, so that's no one's fault.
Sad.
Yeah, Lady Death is published by Avatar. So these are all ongoing concerns.
Jesus.
Yeah,
still rolling, eh?
Yeah. But these are, but we're taking samples from the 90s or the 70s. Yeah. Actually, Vampirella, I think I was talking, I don't know, maybe I was talking with you guys, maybe I was just talking with Chris. The Vampirella, like a lot of big name creators have worked on her. There's like you got your Grant Morrison did some Vampirella, you got your Mark Millar, you got your Cooper Busiek, you got your Alan Moore. You name it, anyone's taken a stab at that property. So a lot of love for it. Not sure why. So anyway, you want to kick off we got preliminary remarks or?
No, I'm ready for the brackets.
Yeah,
all right.
I just want to say I was excited to do this because this is like this was always floating around in the 90s, and it was just always wondered if there was anything of redeeming quality. So this is a fun experiment.
I think that I think I got exactly what I expected.
I think I got more. I think there's actually some decent comment. That's stating it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I think there's.
Yeah.
I think I'm inclined to agree. There's some diamond in the rough here.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Well.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well, not in this.
Say,
yeah. Please.
It's just that so rarely our work does anything positive for the world, but I really think today is going to be a special event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
like-
is the power of positivity. I mean, like, no one's gonna be sad if they
That's true.
decide, you know what, these fucking guys I listen to every once in a while, they're talking about Vampirella, and I'm gonna go get some of that Vampirella. Like, you're not gonna be disappointed.
Well,
You know it,
yeah,
we know it.
yeah. And there might be some other things in there too. So first up, I don't think in the first bracket, however, and maybe I'm tipping my hand too much on how I feel about this, but Lady Death versus Witchblade.
Oh.
So we got Lady.
Yeah, okay.
So I picked Lady Death, the Odyssey. I could have picked any number of Lady Death comics from the 90s. I picked the one that had the most gratuitous TNA, and because otherwise it was Ivan Race and Diodato doing the art on the other ones, and it looked better. But it's not as if Lady Death was dressed chastely or anything like that. But like she looked like your regular superheroine, which isn't to say that like it's a good look, but it wasn't the TNA that I expected to find. So but because most of the you saw the Juan Louise Rip posters.
Oh yeah,
and stuff
those
like
were
that.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's
the best part of all of this.
Juan Jose Rip, sorry. Yeah. So anyway, that Lady Death Odyssey, Brian Polito's baby, art by Stephen Hughes, and then Witchblade, published by Top Cow, illustrated by Michael Turner, who this is his creation. So I don't know. Who do we think wins here, and how are we judging win?
I think I don't think that you don't have to put that in any kind of specifics. I don't think.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I guess
we'll know it. We'll know it when we.
I
When
know.
We
I
feel it.
knew it. I know it now.
It's like judging pornography. I can't
It is,
define
yeah.
it, but I know what it is when I see it.
So,
Yeah.
Witchblade, I don't know if got exactly a fair shake, because I did guzzle down a lot more Lady Death than I wanted to. And it was fucking awful. Like, this nonsensical. It's unreadable. There's like fucking goblins and shit. I don't know. She's like a female Spawn. There's angels. There's problems. It's like a bit Thor-like also.
You know what it's like? It's Conan Swords and Sorcery shit with like a heavy metal edge to it. And there's some definite mid 90s preacher like influence in the sort of scale of this arc.
Yeah, and I think Chris, you're right, and I think James, you're also right. It's
Yeah.
a potpourri.
Yeah.
I got a heavy Spawn vibe for sure. Like that angel that's supposedly trying to teach Lady Death, lessons of, like, that's just an Angela, and like almost exactly the same sort of costume or whatever. I mean, like, kind of a mix of Asgardians. Like, I guess that's the Thor bit too.
Yeah.
You're so right that it's nonsensical too. Like, it's just like so convoluted, and like the whole backstory of, like, I don't know, she was immortal and then she challenged Lucifer and then eventually killed him, and now we're post that, but she's lost all of her powers and wants to hang up her gloves. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, I'm searching for peace. And then, what really whacked me? Fucking let me consume you.
Callie?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was like and then that demon, like, yeah, Callie, but then she also fucking, I think, killed Ganesh.
By accident.
I'm not 100% on that, but that was also Callie. I don't know.
Friendly fire.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. It was a lot to take in. I'm not sure if it was racist or not.
That's something I hadn't considered. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, there were so many fucking aliens, goblins, pirates, shapeshifters. Fucking, there's some splatter horror, which I did appreciate. I like splatter horror. If you're just gonna give me big side boobs, you're not gonna keep me that long. But if you're gonna have like fucking some Mortal Kombat shit a bit, and then I'll stay for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Tell me
I,
where is she? Go on.
Yeah, I didn't mind that those fallen angels, like the artist guy who's like sculpting all the women into like this like horrific statue, but then because of her divine energy, like, and like let's like she's like demonic angelic, like she's both the best of both worlds, so she's a threat to these like fallen angels. And then the guy, like, his hands started like disintegrating because he was like reverting to his demon form. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. I guess it's like, it's not the nonsensicalness of it. Like, I think it would be more enjoyable if there weren't so many goddamn words.
Yes.
Everyone's just, it's like, it's unreadable because, like this gets back to, James, your comparison to Todd McFarlane and Spawn. Like, shut up, get out of the way. You're not adding anything by just constantly like having every character give us like a geography lesson.
Here's one of my I highlighted this line because it's like exactly like, why did this need to be in there? The ice smells of decay and it is cold. It's like, oh, thanks for that valuable exposition.
Yeah.
Well, that was just it. And here's a great one. I assumed that through her pitiful example, you tried to show me that I had to go beyond my past, embrace my destiny in the Judgment Era. What? Stop it. Stop it. That's enough. That's enough.
That's right.
Love is a strong word, but I was really happy that there was like this perverted bondage centaur that looked like martial law. Just constant in the background, like threatening to emerge, and then finally bursting forth.
He's coming at some point, and I was like, and then he's like a weird ripoff of the fucking destroyer that went after Thor. Like,
yeah, you're right.
And I'm like, oh man, when's my guy gonna show up and get some of that side boob?
There's a lot of ripping off in it's very, these guys just like, I don't know, they just totally believe that everything they're doing is awesome and like just like challenging conventional morality. It's I compared it to like, they'd be like Megadeth if they were a metal band. That's what Megadeth would be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
the best of the worst.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think you're like, there is an earnestness to all of this. Like Brian Pulido really thinks that like he's tapping that Neil Gaiman shit, like in sort of mythological scope and stuff like that. And it's so misguided. It's like watching a 12-year-old.
They're really like, I have to say, like on Lady Death in particular, they came hard on the art. Like the art's very good. Yeah, the action is is fairly lucid. Like, I don't know, everything is okay for me. That in that way. It's just those giant fucking angel speech bubbles where I was just like, I fucking glazed over. Oh.
Yeah. Incidentally, like I think this is the worst of the Lady Death art. Like Ivan Rice and Diodato.
I don't say that because we have to explore the best of it then.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
There's definitely, if there were other writers involved, I'd contemplate it. But honestly, like Pulido,
what? There for me, there might be some room to explore additional Lady Death. I'm not ruling that out.
Special edition coming your way, folks.
But this is an easy win for Lady Death for me. I don't know. I'm just gonna drop that out there before we talk about Witchblade.
Okay, hold on. Before we move on though. We have to talk about that last issue because it's so fucking weird where her whole goal is to like find peace, and she comes to this medieval land and becomes like just like a surrogate daughter to like a king and queen, and it's a fucking reverse fridging situation. Like, those people are only inserted in her life so that they can die, and she can get revenge on that like the bondage pervert centaur. It's crazy.
Wow.
And she's like literally is like infantilized. Like she's like, she just wants to be like a little girl to these weird like nobles, and like people are talking to her like she's a child. Hope squirms too much. She renames herself Hope, incidentally. Fuck, I thought that was so weird.
Yeah.
And it's basically fucking He-Man's mother and father too. I don't know.
Oh my god, you're right.
King fucking Randor there.
Yeah.
Reverse fridging. That's fucking hilarious. I see it all.
Yeah, that's strange. I hadn't really thought about that, Chris, but you're right. Because she's like this warrior creature. She's just like, I will bring death. And her idea of paradise and peace is just to like be made a child again, like this huge titted child.
It's so weird.
Barely dressed. You're like, what the fuck? They do that portrait or whatever, and she's standing in between them, and you're like, are you their mistress? Are you the lady in waiting or something? What the fuck's happening here?
It's like that scene in the movie where like a character is like trapped and brainwashed and like locked in a prison of their own mind. Like they're supposed to get out and like you regain their power, but no, this is actually like what she wants.
Well, maybe it's like the Odyssey then, like with like Odysseus and stuff. Sung to shipwreck,
Cersei,
I mean, that's fucking stretching it. This book's stupid and has very little to do with.
They don't know what they're doing.
It's like subliterate.
The one thing I did enjoy was how she was just like so fucking lazy and like just like very petulant about every, like, oh, like you saved us, like thank you. She's like, I didn't mean to save you. Fuck off. That was fun.
Yeah. And yeah, James, you might be right. Perhaps we ought to have read more Witchblade, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if that's the fucking exact answer, but
the problem to Witchblade is more Witchblade.
What do you guys think of Witchblade? Because I actually found that I kind of liked it. I would read more.
I was a little surprised. I was like, this is a really weird scenario. Like this Kenneth Irons guy, and he just like he's got this perv fantasy about whoever can hold, like it's essentially kind of like Excalibur.
Yeah.
And and he just wants to, and he refers to like the individual who wears it as a man early on, and then I kind of want to know how he's going to react later when it's a woman. It's not totally clear at the end, but
I owned these, by the way, guys. I used to have a substantial Witchblade collection.
Fucking right, dude.
Like, did you follow it? Like, does it?
Yeah. Like,
was it worth
in this time? I don't know. It was purely, it was purely for the art.
Looking at the smut, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, sure. Why
not?
I don't remember what year this was. I mean, I can't be blamed.
No. No one's blamed. It's an innocent time.
Oh, there are no, winners or losers or villains here. This is good. This is good, clean Witchblade.
1995. We're 15. So
that's
yeah,
fine.
Man. I'm 15. Yeah. Like that was coming home with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how elaborate like the setup was for Witchblade. Like she's a super tough cop, but she has to like put on this dress to like go undercover, and like as she's like leaping when she's like they call her out, and she's like firing between her legs with her gun. It's also like contrived but hilarious.
Yeah. But they go through the like they give her like, oh, I grew up watching Starsky and Hutch, and she's like, nothing like firing a .357 snub nose swing out revolver. Like she's into guns, but it's like the shittiest gun. It's like a 1970s cop show gun.
Yeah.
That's literally Dirty Harry's gun. Like,
well, this is a snub nose.
Dirty Harry had the fucking long barrel,
fucking Magnum.
Maximum phallus.
Yeah. No, she's just got like an old cop gun, and I just, that's such a weird choice, like not weird choice, but it's like a specific choice. Like they kind of thought about this character. Like this is, for whatever she is, she's obviously meant primarily for the male audience to look at. But yeah, you can't say that she's a complete cipher in the way that you would get like other properties from Top Cow, where it's just like, it's fast running tit girl, or what have you,
And there's also there's a level of intrigue to the kind of hard boiledness of the world that it brings in. Like I know for a fact it's gonna fuck it up at some point. Like it's just sort of a semi-promising start, but it just wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like there are intriguing elements to the mix.
Yeah. I think what I hear ourselves doing here is talking ourselves into reading more Lady Death and Witchblade
I would do it.
Wow.
in the
Let's do it.
future. It's a draw. No, until
No, I'll
such
go with
time
Lady
as
Death.
we. Yeah,
Lady
yeah,
has
no.
cosmic power.
Who
Yeah,
has
no, and
cosmic
this-
power?
Lady Death does.
Well, yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She evaporated that fucking centaur.
This is another situation where like it feels like everyone's ripping off Todd. This feels like Spawn 2. Like
It
like
does,
as well.
yeah. And this is the era, right? This is
For sure.
this is an image break off. Like these guys were coming in hot. Like Michael Turner in the Witchblade was coming in at the same time as everybody else, right? With Gen 13 and.
Yeah, this is, let's say, like third wave Image. You know, from the first wave's 1991, 1992, I guess. And then I guess second wave 93, 94, and then by the time we get to 1995, yeah, this is Top Cow exists and stuff like that. Like everybody's kind of fracturing and starting their own little fiefdoms. And this is, yeah, Michael Turner was kind of a big part. Yeah, I guess I'm definitely not going to rep for Witchblade. Sorry, like this pretty much does have to be.
I did like the kind of I like the crime boss, and I like the Kenny Irons. I like Nottingham. As like a, and I like that Nottingham was not revealed, because he's clearly some kind of enforcer.
Yeah, it holds on to its secrets. You know, you're not.
Yeah. Like we're now, like, I don't know what's gonna happen now. Are we gonna go toe to toe? This guy got powers. Are these guys just like gangsters? What's going on here? They're cop killers, you know.
Well, at the beginning they explain, like, he's describing all of the money, like he's Forbes 500, and he's also a sex slave trader, and, you know, drug trafficking, prostitution, slavery, weapons production.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so the best.
So
he's the kingpin.
Yeah, that's right. He's the kingpin. Yeah, and the art has an ornamentalness to it. Like when he's drawing statues, you know, he really loves the female form and also the extremely large man form. And he's not very good at doing anything in between.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it looks kind of. Anyway, Lady Death.
He does some okay fat guys.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can.
Nah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
He does a Reservoir Dogs poster. I don't know. Yeah. He's a pinup guy. Like he does he's got great female faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, you can read the emotion off her face pretty well. That's a good point.
With one issue in the bag, not able to defeat Lady Death in any way.
Mm. Seems a shame.
I don't know, Chris, unless you're coming out hot with that.
No, I can't. She need to power up a little bit more, at least.
Lady Death just had too much going for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many. Like every issue was a new what the fuck mystery. I knew like what?
It was too rich.
Yeah, too
many fucking. There was pygmies and was that? I think King Randor. They were like elven people too. Like there was too much.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
There's somewhere out there, a guy with like Lady Death in like bagged comic forms is really going to be disappointed with us. But
I know. Look, if there's some real hard Lady Death fan out there that's listening to this, which is super unlikely, I'm sorry. Like I believe that it's a bigger thing than it is, but whether I'll ever know that for real, I don't know.
Yeah. Well. Hit us up, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a big Lady Death fan and you're disappointed with
honestly, if any 4 to 6 issue arc is suggested, I'll take the Pepsi challenge on that.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, bracket number 2. We got Vampirella from Warren Magazine era. And I fear I did us a disservice. I grabbed a Vampirella magazine at random from the 70s, and I just feel that I grabbed a shitty one. And so I don't know. Right. Yeah, and then read Sonja. It's the same thing. I just grabbed 2 random issues that looked like it had the most TNA.
That was promising.
That was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Vampirella magazine didn't care for.
Yeah.
It was overstuffed. It was far less exploitative than I expected, which is interesting. Like, she didn't seem that over sexualized in the 70s stuff. She was just a lady who happened to wear a thong vest.
But no, you're right. You're right, because she's in this they're in this like South American country where like this dictator has just fallen, and they're like having a Mardi Gras essentially. And then an international spy thriller, like a James Bond kind of story emerges. And there's nothing like, she turns into a bat, if I remember correctly, and like mesmerizes someone. Like, she does some vampire powers a little bit, but generally speaking, you're right. Like, nothing about her alters the story. It's just like it's like Archie Goodwin, the writer. He just like, he plopped her in and then told the story that he wanted to tell, and just understood that Jose Gonzalez would just draw like a beautiful woman in what did you call it, Chris?
A thong vest.
A thong vest, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's the proper name, but yeah, that's accurate.
It's really accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much to, and even actually, sorry to go on, but I'm not sure if you read the last story or skimmed the last story. I skimmed a lot of this, to be honest, but the last one, Don McGregor's story. James, you'll remember Don McGregor from Detectives Inc.
Yes.
The writer of Detectives Inc. It's this story about this woman who her husband's kind of really shitty towards her. So she joins a witches coven, but the witches are going to kill all the men. She's going to kill her husband. And then like the 2 men are talking, and they're like, women's lib, sure, they got a point, but I just feel that they're going to lose something. They're going to lose the art of femininity, and we need that. And the story pretty much reinforces that point. So it's like, it's sex potty, but at the same time, it's also like extremely conservative. And yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of shocked by that. I was like, that's weird. As at the same time as they're drawing all these like voodoo skull witch naked ladies.
It's kind of a ballsy move too to go ahead and like just use comic book format to attack feminists.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time that happened.
At the time, it's probably just like this. Yeah. I remember reading Norman Mailer like just being like he was just like blatant about just attacking women's lib like in that era, and he just like later I read an interview with him. He said, I didn't understand how powerful it was going to become. But like this.
I thought that they were going to be
like these guys are in the same era.
I thought they were going to remain a weak underclass that I could pick on. Yeah, what a prick.
Yeah, he really was.
Shit. I don't know. It's actually, and it's in the same vein as like Frank Miller though. Like it's I did do a little bit of reading on like what sort of the intensity of feminism at this time, like anti-pornography, seriously anti-men in some instances. And there was definitely like a media furor about those things. It's just gone too far. It's very similar to what we're doing nowadays. Extremely similar, like, and like the reactions that are emerging from that. And it just feels like, this feels a piece with the media reactions of the time. We just want to look at these sexy ladies dancing to voodoo. Fuck.
Yeah. The first story, it disarmed me a little bit because it was kind of like it had some leftist sort of overtures, I guess, like the to the dictator. They were being helped by that American GI, like the I guess disgraced American general who's too into like just like refused to let go of the Cold War, so he like jumped over to this general side, and then they helped turn him into a zombie so he can come back and rule again. I thought that was pretty fun actually, but it was I don't know, it was okay, but it just didn't make a huge impression.
Yeah, Yeah. So and I don't know. Like honestly, not a lot of I've skimmed. I've sampled quite a few Vampirella magazines, but mostly from the 80s. I wasn't impressed with those either.
Okay.
And I was just kind of hoping if I went deeper to the source that we'd find something really good. But
Yeah. Did you guys check out the She Vampirella stuff? Like, is that officially
I
on?
did. Yeah.
Oh, you checked that out too? Great. Perfect. Yeah, Chris, you were right. They suck.
Yeah, they really fucking suck.
Yeah,
I
this
said
was
I
bad.
said privately, like when we were talking, that like
The
this
art
is probably
was
the
phenomenal.
hackiest shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art was really good. Kevin Lau was great. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
the action was great, and the fucking ass shots were otherworldly. They went all out.
Yeah, and I don't know if we say that this is a Warren Ellis joint. This is
Yeah.
Warren Ellis work for hire
You would know that.
1990. You would not know that. No.
It's so sad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
The I can't believe how good the action sequences were though. Oh man, what the fuck was that? You murdered my wife, you mother loving whore. Anyway, this guy just tears through the whole place, and it's just I don't know, just the action sequences were really cohesive, so it was like fun to blast through.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. Like the whole thing is just a showcase to make these characters meet and like kind of conflict with each other. It's like it's bare bones. It's like like the Yakuza or something like that, or she is hunting the Yakuza and Vampirella is hunting two vampires, and they kind of meet up. The end.
Yeah.
Fuck, did you catch that line that like, and this is like Warren Ellis writing this. She had a strange Japanese childhood. It's still with Christian values and creeping godless folktales. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, is that like the first that's like one of the first things that's said about her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
It's like, here's what you need to know about this character.
Yeah. But again, it's working. He didn't invent these characters. He's just kind of trying to, like, I don't want to. It does seem like a strange thing for him to write and to even go along with writing, but he was kind of shackled with the property, and he's not a big name at this time. Like, it's 1997. I think, like I was saying, Transmet is maybe either just about to start or has just started. He's writing or has just written Excalibur. He's still really like a work for hire hack at this point, in a way that he'll remain a hack, but like he'll kind of spread his wings and fly as a hack. Whereas here he's very constrained.
Yeah.
Not to take too many to apologize too much on his behalf, but
no, well, obviously he got better. I had thought that this was later in his career, so that it does actually make more sense in that context. And there's that little, like, even like the kind of overture, like he always will do that sort of like try to pull in an interesting framework with the Vampirella She one. Like there's that like 9 kinds of Earth, and so just like, I don't know, it's just like sort of
there's like a 15-page
poetic. Yeah.
There's like a 15-page fight sequence that was really great, and it ended with a choking.
I do like that.
That was a nice touch. It was like really peaked for me there. And then
the Vampirella. Oh, go on.
No, I was just gonna say then you got your headbutt, and then you got the bitches die like my wife, bitches die. Yeah.
This is in Vampirella She. This is in Vampirella She, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then fucking obviously we're burning bodies by that point. Have some kind of like uneasy truce. I'm not sure.
this is a much better comic though. Like, as far like, actually the Lau guy is fine, but I think this is much like, I'm watching a guy rip out someone's intestines here. The action's very intelligible.
The action's smooth.
Yeah.
Panel to panel, I can see a weapon come across.
Yeah.
Or get blocked, and then it's in the right position in the hand in the next panel. Like, I mean, that's the most you're gonna get out of any of these books.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think it was better than the Kevin Lau thing though. But it just reminded me of Chris. I've never had to say his name out loud. Chris Scorse, The Tom Strong fella. Like, this is very that guy. Like, that's the dude that does the cover, as a matter of fact, I think, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, yeah, but these guys aren't really on the. For a brief period, I was hoping we could put she on the map here, but I couldn't steal any of the comics. I don't know if maybe they're available on that pirate website that you were talking about, Chris. But so
No.
Red Sonja.
Yeah, Red Sonja. Okay, this was good stuff.
Damn right.
And I'm in agreement. I'm in total agreement. What's the magic sauce here?
It's just the
I'm not sure. I think it was
madness
so
of it.
fucking random. Yeah,
It was like a weird fucking associative trip. It was like totally psychedelic.
Which is weird. It's coming from Roy Thomas. I don't know who Claire Noto is, but Thomas was the guy who was writing Conan at the time. He's like, I think he's editor of Marvel at this time.
This was a Marvel book?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, totally. 1978. Frank Thorne. Frank Thorne's the magic sauce for me. Like, art, lettering, and coloring. He did everything. This is such his vision. And I think he does like 8 or 12 issues, and then they're like, I don't know, he's just a little too sexual and a little too weird for them.
Big mistake.
Yeah. He'll go on. I mean, he worked on Playboy with Moonshine McJugs. And yeah,
I like that on the resume.
Yeah, he's this is, later like he starts off early in newspaper comic strips with King Features. He does all your classic comic strips or whatever, and maybe it's a little bit sexual. I don't know. But he's used to doing everything. And then he gets picked up by Dell Comics, and he ends up doing Marvel Comics and stuff like that. And then he gets, like, as he ages, I think he gets he just embraces his inner desire to just draw women with large breasts wearing next to nothing, or nothing, and then kind of makes that thing that he does for the rest of his life.
It's like a proto Jim Balent.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Some people would call that a success.
Oh no! It's check this out. Died 2021, age 90. No one says how he died, but he died at the exact same day as his wife of 69 years. I think he committed suicide. I think he assisted suicide with him and his wife. Like, that's the only way. And like, no one said he died in a car crash or anything like that. It's just described as, he died with his wife in the same day. So yeah, I think they just chose to end it. That's speculation on my part, but otherwise I don't know how to account for that fact.
I wonder if he modeled his wife.
Oh, I don't know. I never thought to look that up.
I'm just gonna put that in the basket. Yeah.
I think if you ever looked at Frank Thorne, you would know that the answer is no.
How would you? I'm trying to think of how you would explain this, and it's really hard.
I think Lady Death in this story have a lot in. I didn't want to talk about it when we were talking about Lady Death, but it's the same character. Like, she's just so aggressive and so cocksure. Like, even when she's blinded, she's just like, there's a panel where it's described that she's frightened and she realizes she's helpless, but at the same time, she's also like, my hearing is super cunning, or my sense of smell or whatever. And she's just ready to kill all the time.
Well, they got duped by that little fucking goblin man.
Marmo.
Yeah, Marmo smoked them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that fucking centaur is just, I'm not sure what he's doing. I guess he's quiche. I guess, what would you call those little things in the eggs? Are those peacocks, or are they mini dragons? Or
I think they're
are they
rocks.
but the things hatch out of them. The
little peacocks.
What's that thing that Dumbledore's got? Like a phoenix. Yeah.
Oh,
so he's like smoking phoenixes. He's getting high.
Oh no, I thought he was blowing glass. I see what you're. I can see how you would read that panel that way, but like, the tube from which the creature blows the tiny jewel-like eggs one after the other. Yeah, he's blowing glass.
Yeah, he's creating the eggs out of art or something.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I love that center. That's so fucking weird. And
then I like that he just jumps on him and just.
Marmo. Yeah, Marmo's like completely Marmo's like when you play Dungeons and Dragons, and you always have that one friend who wants to be chaotic evil. Like he's just like running along with them, like stabbing everything they come across.
Yeah,
he's special.
Yeah, that centaur is amazing though. Like just the weight of it. Like this is when Frank Thorne kind of there's a lot of images in this story where you're like, oh man, this guy's got chops, but just like, I know it's a stupid thing to say, but like that looks like a heavy horseman sitting on a bunch of pillows in a room where he's blowing glass, right? You know,
yeah,
just having just this psychedelic moment, and everything's so ornamented and crystalline. Yeah,
I like how much shit that Red Sonja talks. Like, you murdering dog, but she doesn't do anything. She just lets fucking Marmo or whatever go batshit and fucking rage around the place. Like she doesn't stop him. Like any normal warrior with that kind of fucking big mouth and chops would have just cut him down after that. That guy's a fucking liability. Yeah, that guy's a fucking liability.
That's for sure. I love his one of my favorite lines. He says, he's pleading for his life. Mercy, my comrades. Mercy on an old man who merely sought to die rich. It's like that's like a fucking Bender Futurama line.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I love sorry, I just wanted the centaur when they describe the centaur, they describe him with human-like arms. It's like those are just arms.
Its head is less than human, but perhaps more as well. Yeah, it's fucking. Honestly, you barely need the. This is a kind of a Chris Claremont thing where you're like, you don't need all this. It's not helping. It's not even matching the art in some instances. Like it's not. Yeah, you need half as much of this. Pare it down.
Definitely.
That was not the style at the time. And yeah, actually. I think about like what the script looks like. I just think like, God, this is just so much to write, like hundreds and hundreds of words. And you're like, you don't need this, but they all think that they're writing short stories.
Yeah.
And they are,
I guess
essentially.
because it comes out of the pulp, and like, I guess they want to be true to that in some sense.
Why is it necessary to have Sumaro there with her also is a bit of a beef of mine.
And
that was her like boy toy? Like
what he's like he's like a fucking like a pussy ass version of like Conan that just sort of fucking chums around with her. He's like a I don't know. He didn't help. She saves him all the fuck. She saves him when she's blind.
I think you accurately described what he is.
Yeah.
Pussy ass Conan that chums around.
Yeah, he's also, he's the romantic interest. Like they keep describing him as like his sensuous lips and stuff like that. Yeah, he's their boy toy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean.
Yeah, he gets called out for it too. Like.
I would have liked if he went down in this story. Like if they would have been good to just replace her boy toy often and have them cut down.
Oh yeah, a little more like a Conan story.
That's right. Yeah.
Where where they were like sex objects are expendable.
Yeah, she doesn't need this fucking guy.
Yeah. I think it might be a situation because if I remember, like I was flipping through the issues and I think it's Dick Giordano doing the earlier issues. I think I'm right about that. And then Frank Thorne comes in. So I don't know, like obviously, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here because obviously Frank Thorne's not writing it, right? So I don't know. I think it's just ill considered all around. Then it's just ill considered. Yeah. Forget it. Just wanted to apologize for Frank that there was a character that sucked. Although, yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say the that second cover, you guys. I love that. she-devil with a sword, and I'm blind. Blind.
Where are you? We're surrounded by enemies on all sides.
Yeah, which is like totally not. Yeah, I guess that's like the appeal to the the potential market, because yeah, she's way better than him. I like at the end she's just like she's so badass. She like what's that whatever that sorceress, like crossbow sorceress, it's like shooting all those birds down for no reason. But she just like gets to her and just like stabs her. Oh, like her minions better get here quick. Oh, too late. She's not gonna need their help anymore.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, it's another situation with Vampirella. I don't know why it's an ongoing property, but with Red Sonja, I can kind of see it. You know, it has a sort of a basic appeal. Although apparently, I haven't read the original stories, but Red Sonja is actually based off a Western character, apparently, like a Robert E. Howard Western story, where the character, you know, so it's kind of like, but then they just took the basic idea and then transposed it into a Conan world, and then made it a spin-off.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about this exploitation in this is that like it makes perfect sense within that world. Like Conan is like wearing less than her. That's just how they play. You know?
There's barbarian clothes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like barely wearing anything. Even the guy that's following her around all the time, like he's not like what's he wearing? Like he's in his underwear.
He's got the loincloth.
Yeah.
It's a furry loincloth and like Jesus sandals.
Yeah, that's like if in this world people who are wearing clothes, fuck those guys. You can't trust them.
Yeah, like
civilized people.
He actually
like
has a pretty hot moment too, where he bitch slaps fucking Momo or whatever.
Yeah, and Momo's the only guy who dressed, and he's dressed like the Pope or something, you know? Like,
he becomes kingly. Well, I mean, that's all part of his like he's fucking deceptive, you know?
Yeah.
What about that monkey, guys? What do you think about them? Beautiful, the shaggy-haired ape dips his long pipe into the crimson liquid that fills the sunken vat. What is happening, man?
The obedient feedy.
This is the fucking. This is the result of LSD.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it like. The Marvel method is weird because, like, basically, Frank Thorne would have gotten like a basic idea of like, okay, so here's the beats of this story, and now I want you to draw it, and then we'll add dialogue afterwards. And so like he drew the like Feedy or whatever, you know, going in and getting from the vat, and you know, someone has to put dialogue over that. Yeah, if anything psychedelic, it's just because they're responding to like what the fuck Frank drew and how they drew it.
Like how the Phoenix like jizzed on her face with its blood and gave her vision back. That was a bit much. Nice touch. That's gonna be a big winner. That's gonna be hard to break the final brackets with those kind of scenes, you know.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, so Red Sonja's going forward. That's
for
a safe bet.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Tarot. Which of the Black Rose, and I wanted you guys to see some Milo Manara.
Who did Tarot go up against?
X-Women, number 1, Milo Manara, with Chris Claremont. I thought that would be an appropriate perv combo. Milo Manara's art is, I think you got a sense of what his art is, but he's usually much more explicit, much more pornographic.
Okay.
I have collected editions of his stuff. I'm a big fan. I love his erotic comics. They're fucking awesome. But we'll talk about that some more. Tarot, on the other hand, I had never read before, and I was super pleased. We talked about this. Yeah, I was like, wow. What
this
the
is
fuck?
Something. This has something going on.
So we did issue 50 through 53. Yeah. So I don't know. You were saying, James. Yeah, it's got something going on.
Well, like I love the fucking the pictures of the fucking cosplaying girls.
Oh, you mean in the like the the letters page and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Just in the
Yeah.
beginning, like, you know, where he's basically they're like Jim Kapow, Balent, creator, writer, artist, and cover artist, and then he's just like got these like fucking cosplay girls at a Comic-Con just hanging off of him.
Yeah, dressed like Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, which is
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
given what we know of their, like, they're going to be in a relationship later on. And, like, I think people were shipping those two before I even realized it.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I like what he's about. You know, this is a very fringe thing. Like you're definitely like there's a heavy kink to this. Like this is in the land of furries. This.
Oh, that's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because like the thing that dropped out, the point it immediately pointed at, stood out to me. You know, because I was familiar with the haunted vagina theme. So I had a sense of like what we were going to find here. But what I didn't expect to find was like it's these incredibly large-breasted nude women who at the same time have a lack of pubic hair in any respect. You know, like
they have a lack of genital anatomy in general, like almost childlike.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a baby's vagina,
gross,
and you're just
it's a
like,
gross thing to say, but
yeah, and you're just like, oh wow, weird. You know, like, and it's just like it's not just like once or twice. It's just like constantly on display.
Yeah, that's just what
weird.
That's what he's bringing to the table. That's the.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do full nudity, but he's like he's gonna shy away from any kind of like real feminine nudity.
yeah. There's no like it's just like there's no labia. There's no but I mean we don't have to get into, you're right though, James, like there's no anatomy. It's just smooth and hairless, and like even when it's like gaping open, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's such a weird, smooth, flat quality to the art in general. I found. And at the same time, he's talented, like obviously. But
well, I'm gonna blame I'm gonna go after the colorist a little bit on this. This appears to be like, what year was this?
Later than we would like to see. But,
yeah, 2012 probably. There's a
2012. Yeah.
This looks like early digital coloring. So I don't know if that maybe like puts a bit of a beating on the depth of Jim's art here.
Wasn't that his wife? His wife is the colors, right? They've got like a mom and pop cottage industry thing going on, don't they?
Yeah, and that's cool. Maybe she's like new to it, you know, because it looks amateurish.
If she's new, like but by this point she's not new to it. Like it's issue 50. They've been like doing it month to month since 1999.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have had the digital coloring that entire time, right?
No, they did. Yeah, because that's Image Era. It's all digital coloring. Like this is an amateur production. This is like, and Jim Balent's so much better than this. To be like, they're just fucking around. Like, they're like, I hate to say that Jim Balent's better than this, but I really think he is. Like, I've seen Catwoman comics that look better than this.
Well, yeah, but this is, you know, there's kind of an aesthetic they're going for, though.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I mean, and they're succeeding.
I did not expect like full pornography lesbian relationship right off the cuff like that. I didn't expect to get hit like that, and I also, after I got hit with that, did not expect to have a complete 180 into a weird fantasy comic book.
Yeah.
I figured we'd stay more pornographic, but then we didn't.
Yeah, he's trying.
It just got confusing to me.
They're trying, like they're actually trying on this, and it's weird. Like it really disarmed me too.
I think actually, James, that it's not just the colorist. Now that I'm thinking about it, like this is all computer art. Like this is Jim Balent taking, like he's no longer using pencil and ink and stuff like that. This is all on the computer, and like,
maybe that's
suck.
Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah,
maybe he's on a drawing tablet or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. Like, there's no inker on this. It's all digital, and it's not working. Like, he doesn't have. He's not as good at. Well, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. You know, but but think of it like in comparison to like Frank Thorne or whatever. Like there's a way you can do tits and ass or even pornography, like we're going to see with Milo Manara, and with pen and ink that looks a lot better than this. But anyway, let's put that aside for the moment. What's that? Who's the guy that shows up? The
Skeleton Man.
Skeleton, yeah. No, the issue.
No, the pervert guy, the fairy master.
Right.
The Lord of the swordsman.
The swordsman. Oh, he's just, I am the swordsman to the god.
No, Lord Thornwick.
Lord.
Yeah,
yeah, Thornwick.
Really quick.
Lord Thornwick.
Yeah, please, Chris, please.
Just to set this up, because like I know like no one's read this. She's a witch. She's the guardian of the realm. Like she stands between magic and humanity. But so like now some kid has like killed these fairies. So like this guy's like her counterpart for the fairy realm, and he wants vengeance. Mm-hmm. That's the plot. That's what's going on for 3 issues.
Yeah, he's looking for it bad too.
Yeah.
And he steals the family, and it's actually like maybe they deserve it because that kid crucified those fucking fairies.
Oh man,
that's
disturbing.
That guy's a serial killer.
Like, yeah, he's got these like little naked titty fairies in these jars that he's like suffocated and maimed, and then when she basically lambastes this guy, oh, it's an accident. He had a fairy in a jar. Well, not so much. I did kill a couple. So he sends his little fucking gremlins into the house to discover like that he's basically like vivisected them like fucking David from Alien style, like and then pin them up on a little fucking frame, and it's actually really horrific.
Yeah, that and that's something that I didn't expect from this. Like we're going to see it again with issue 53 with the haunted vagina or whatever. Like I didn't expect some elements of horror that, like, I don't want to say that it's scary, but you're just like, oh, that's gruesome. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it was
grotesque. It's really grotesque, and I was actually disturbed. And then to imagine that this little boy had these little fucking things begging for their lives, like it gives you a good little deep insight into grotesquerie, like where you're like, oh fuck, like that's enough to take home with me.
Yeah. Go on, Chris.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it sounded like you were going to say something. The fact that he pins them up too, it has an element of, because this is all about kind of, it's trying to sell a sort of mystic realm, and it wants to talk about sort of a Wiccan witchcraft ideology in some sense. Like and it has spells at the back of the book and stuff like that. It really participates in that realm, and to have these creatures pinned up like that, it's evocative of like the disenchantment of the world through science, like the perversions of Western reason and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be I'm giving that a lot of credit by saying such things, but I like it kind of evokes those ideas in a really, I'm not going to say not elegant way, but not as elegant as the swordsman himself.
I love the swordsman, man. What a beautician. He makes that move. She is fucking outclassed by Thornwick here. He fucking puts one right through her thigh. She's just lacking. She can't hang with this guy. And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to take these guys for execution. Peace out with your shitty wound. You suck. I'm the greatest swordsman that ever lived. And then he leaves. They're like, help me. No, fuck, you're done.
Did you notice that even the portals are kind of vaginal?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't unsee it now.
Yeah. So moted be. The he's kind of like Tuxedo Mask, right? Like I always got the impression that Tuxedo Mask
a little bit,
yeah. I always got the impression that he was better than all the other sailors, and but he had sort of a limited engagement with them or whatever. Like I like, again, we talking personally amongst ourselves, like I was like, God, I could follow this month to month. I could just see what they're up to, like I just like find,
there's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
it's always going to show you something that you've never seen before. I can, you can tell that.
Like the cat metamorphosis into like a blood suck wound down by the vag. Like what on earth? This is just a land where people are free to be themselves, you know? Maybe there's some kind of like bizarre freedom to this entire thing.
Yeah.
I think there is. I think that's like really at the center. Like even when, and sorry, Chris, I know you wanted to say something, but even when they're later on, when the swordsman and her have their battle and he's undressing her with his sword or whatever, and they're slowly like they're engaged in this, like it's really a ritualized courtship. And he's defeating her, and it's kind of a symbolized sort of rape. And at the final moments, you know, like he notices her nipples are getting hard because she's like thinking of all the fucking that she's done in the past. And it's just like, yeah, it's weird. It's just like it really embraces like sort of a free love thing, but at the same time wants to have these symbolized. All the conflicts are about sex as well. Like it's yeah. I don't even. I mean, that's not an accident, but anyway, Chris, what were you going to say, Chris?
I was going to say, well, actually, to cue up that, like, yeah, that second issue is insane because it is like a 20-page, like, really a sexual assault, like in a way. Like she's like literally saying, like, there's nothing I can do to stop him, and like he's got her like bent over at one point. She's like, oh no, here it comes, but then he like just continues to like fight her instead of what she's expecting. It's crazy. Yeah. But I think like that aside, there is like a genuine attempt to be sex positive in this comic, and then also just like to talk about, like, there's like it's the writing's so hacky and like porn quality, like, but there's that one line where she says like she's remembering the time she hated herself because the world teased her for developing such large breasts, and she's just thinking about this, like looking at the labyrinth. But like it is about like acceptance, and like, yeah, it's weird. Like they are so sincere about this, and it's disarming and kind of charming at the same time, because like, I guess one thing I dislike about like the sexploitation stuff is it's dishonest. Like it's like you know what it's about. It's like it's just an elaborate excuse to like to give teenagers something to jerk off to. But when you're just like all out on the table, like when Jim Balent says, you know, maybe you're right about my Catwoman, and you know what, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna like put it all on the table. It's like you gotta kind of respect that.
Oh yeah, I agree. You know, like year after year after year, like he's really dedicated, and I agree. Like there is a sex positivity to all of this, like, and he's not sexually assaulting her. You know, like it's sort of symbolizing that in the way of, you know, like maybe the tarot, you know, the sword and the cup and shit like that. But it is an extended flirtation. You know, like all he's doing at the end is kind of. Well, I guess maybe it is a sexual assault because he's like at the end he has like stripped her down and he's like circling her nipple with a sword. So I guess I'll take that back. It does have sexual assault qualities, but the book isn't selling that she's. You get the impression that like she's still sort of into it, within the bounds of this universe. Yeah, within the bounds of this universe, like she might fuck this guy. You know, who knows, right? You know, it's wherever the moment takes them.
Well, that's kind of the where it walks that disturbing line where it's like, I feel my body opening up to him, where it's like, okay, I mean, we're gonna write that she just feels her body opening up to everybody? I mean, you know, that's just a bit of an iffy. It's just a bit of an iffy line to walk if you're not gonna just basically write rape fantasies.
That's true. By the way, counterpoint, like her armor is ridiculous. Like, what is it even guarding? And like, did you know the metal part? Her boobs. It has camel toe. It's like camel toe is engraved into her armor. It's crazy.
Yeah, I said that was the thing that like when it's like he cuts her panties off or whatever, but they don't describe it as panties. It's like as the bottom half of my armor falls away, and you're like, no, that's not. Yeah, that's not a description of what's happening here. But it is like, but within, you can imagine like there is like the titillation of this is the S&M titillation of going through like a ritualized taking of someone, but never actually, you know, going there. Actually, and as a matter of fact, he gets the shit kicked out of him at the end.
Skeleton guy.
Skeleton fucking dude.
Skeleton Skeleto tromps that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a curb stomping. It's like he's got him pinned down, like drowning the shit out of him, like in a fountain.
And I mean, the guy was so outclassing everybody in fighting up until that point, and then I was like, Skeleton Man's giving you the fucking brass knucks. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from that for the Lord Swordsman of the Fairies. I guess maybe we'll just call it a blindside. Lucky fucking blindside.
Well, that's what they say. They say like the only, like he keeps the pressure on. Like it's written by Chris Claremont all of a sudden. And then it just keeps going. Incidentally, these are 2008. There we go. I find we get the digital edition for 2012. But anyway, and then they fuck at the end, and like she's like contemplating the tarot the whole time, like some sort of, again, like justice card, whether it's inverted or proper way around, and and it's anyway, and then at the end she decides to have like, it's again, this is kind of like an Alan Moore thing, like in Promethea or something like that, but obviously not done very well at all, but it's in that vein.
I love the so that third issue where like it's like literally him curb stomping the fuck out of that fairy guy. And like she's just posing heroically in the background. She's like, if John is my sword, then so be it. Let him strike down my enemy. And she's like drowning him in a pool. It's like,
yeah, he's giving him like a pretty greasy end too. He's in like an old moldy pond, just getting fucking held under the water like a schoolboy style. I mean, she's like, no, wait, don't kill him. Like, but he's been in fucking under the water for 5 minutes. And then I love the little scene where the goblin comes out, scream.
Oh, like, fuck
They teleport the fucking master swordsman back to the fairy realm so that these two can bang it out immediately. Even though Buddy's like a zombie butcher from fucking hell.
Yeah, man.
For ultra censored sex too, also.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's just like, it's her breath, and like it's a lot of description. The sight arouses me. I caress myself and feel our pleasure grow. And like
that's when she opens herself up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sense that there's actual like penetration or intercourse going on here. Like,
I show him how grateful I am.
Yeah. Fuck. And then the other,
oh boy,
it was funny when the cat lady's like, they're having sex without me.
Then you're like, oh hey-o.
Yeah, and she runs. And then Space, what's this other chick? She's like, no, she's all like the Undertaker, big titted Undertaker.
Like, all of a sudden, like Marvel's Death shows up. You shouldn't prevent them from having sex. I'll pull your tail with my even bigger boobs.
Mm-hmm.
A fully cloaked, except for like even bigger boobs than everyone else in the story, which I thought was impossible, but it's not.
Well, that's what happens. It's kind of a metaphysics of breasts, like the embodiment of the universe itself is just like one giant breast. And then it all works down from there. I'm looking at the final image of the union between these two. And like, I don't know what face I'm looking at here. Like, he looks like he just like someone told him like a wry joke or something like that. Like, and he's doesn't register
like, well,
that there's a.
I gotta get going.
Yeah. Okay, and then 53. The super famous issue 53. Haunted Vagina episode.
Holy shit.
Yeah, my favorite, like I really like the commitment to the concept of this issue, where a bunch of ghosts want their body parts back, but it all has to do with like the beauty industry.
Yeah, because it's the collagen from that was illegally stolen from her, from their bodies.
Mm-hmm. And so all these like, I like, this is another situation where I don't want to give the story too much credit, but it's all these women who are about to get like horribly assaulted and fucking get their taken, their collagen is going to get taken back from their vaginas and lips and stuff like that. But I guess the thing is they don't look any different than the main character as far as like body goes. Like you don't get the distinction between like one engaged in an artificial beautification and the other is tarot, right? And they kind of look the same, and so it's just like, I don't know if that's required. It's just like this comic wants to kind of say something about the beauty industry and the need to look a certain way. I think, something like that. I don't know. Like something like that is at play though.
I'll buy that.
But it doesn't do a good job of it. It dresses up like nurses, like zombie nurses who have bleeding vaginas and bleeding lips and eyes and stuff like that, which
it's awesome.
Man, fucking love that image. This book reminds me of Greg Land. If you guys knew who Greg Land was, you would be like, holy shit, he's a major sort of Marvel Comics artist. And he draws like this.
Skeleton guy can't hang with these zombie nurses either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Which is weird
character too. Yeah. And like his whole thing we find out in this issue is that he took a vow to protect the dead. Like he hangs out in a cemetery because he vows to protect the dead. What is that? How?
I love the haunted vagina.
I don't want to alarm you. Yeah, I don't like. You're right, Chris. Like, because he's not protecting the dead right now. He's protecting a bunch of living people because some ghosts. I forget how he gets pulled into this.
He seems like kind of I don't know, trying to like almost like a Spider-Man type, where it's just like he's kind of just trying to help where he can. That's not in the narrative really, but.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to like. He feels like outclassed, but like doing his best a little bit.
Yeah, and he I don't know.
It feels like an origin story for the guy that we met the previous issue, though.
Exactly.
Who was a complete fucking badass, and this feels like, where did he come? Year one. Where did this guy come from?
Yeah, because it was like his girlfriend. He was in a car accident, and like he got the power to talk to the dead, and his girlfriend just died. So I guess she's kind of still connected to him as a ghost, and she asks him to help out because these sexy zombie nurses are causing trouble in the graveyard.
They're killing. I am assuming that you die if the zombie nurses take back their collagen with their scalpels.
At the very least, you mutilated that woman whose like lips are all stolen, and she's like, she looks pretty dead. Her eyes are rolled back.
And I'm the haunted vagina girl's done too. Now it's your turn. Give me back what was once mine.
Oh,
thong gets ripped off. Oh no! And then
oh my god,
we know what happens because of El Skeloto's reaction. Ugh, damn it! That vagina's gone after that.
What's amazing is he just like, without any warning, like smashes through a window. Like she's just sleeping, and this skeleton guy suddenly hovering over her bed, telling her that she recently had a surgery to make her vagina more jovial. What the
Samantha Brown, you have to get out of here. Your vagina's haunted.
Get out of here. You're crazy. And that's like, I don't know, that's half of her response. The other response ought to be like punch him in the face and try to leave the room. He's dressed like a goddamn skeleton. He's got spikes on his arm and stuff.
He's got milky eyes and shit too.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You wouldn't tell him to get out of here. You'd be screaming.
Yeah.
That's true too. Yeah. You would just
I'd be screaming.
Yeah. What the fuck? And then Nurse with Wound shows up and fucking
and like he's ineffective, but that drop kick out of the window against Bloody Eye Nurse was pretty good. Solid.
Oh yeah.
Ghosts are weird in this story. It's like they're physical sometimes kind of.
Yeah, that's a good point. And your energy can be sucked from them, but this guy's got like the energy who can make all the ghosts feel good and embodied and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. They're like I think we've already said this, but there's kind of a weird metaphysics at play. I think of like, I'm kind of tempted to read these comics just to try, like, what the fuck? Like, what's the thing here? Like, what are the rules of this universe? Because like, I bet they exist in some sort of weird fucked up way. Like, I bet I could map it all out. And
I think what you're saying is we give it the Invisibles treatment.
Yeah.
Go deep.
Go deep. Yeah. Issue by issue.
This actually has my favorite thing at the back too. When you get into the old Jim Balent party stuff, you go into the Broadsword Comics Halloween costume contest.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That like, those people are terrifying. Like, I hope that I'm never at anything where I have to meet people like that. That's too much for me.
That's fair.
They're very dedicated to the cause. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
To the cosplay.
Apparently, the readership for this is like basically half women, half men.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like it based on the. I mean, if I'm only basing it on the cosplay, it seems like there's definitely like a following, that you maybe wouldn't expect.
Yeah, and I think it gets down to the basic, like, what Chris was sort of pointing to. It's like, it's this sex positivity elements. It's very ritualized. It's very much. It has a lot of sort of new age kind of spirituality bits to it. Wicca, explicitly, like that's one of the things that Jim Balent's like. I kind of want to explore all that stuff. Him and his wife or partner, and yeah, I can just see a certain type of sex positive goth who wants to like cosplay, like nerd out on stuff, but doesn't want to do it with Spider-Man, because it's not sexual enough. It's not as fun. It's not as kinky. This kind of fits the bill. Like, it's got that Venn diagram shit. You can see about 40 to 50,000 people who would be into this, like really into this, and that's enough to maintain a guy for the rest of his life. So. On that note, how you guys like X? How'd you guys like X women?
Holy fuck, this was garbage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the art, like if you want to talk about the art is pretty well done. But Claremont's just an embarrassment in this.
This was originally published in Italy, if I think, and then got a then small print run here in because Milo Manara, he's a big name in Italian comics. You can find his stuff pretty much anywhere, and this was him like doing a little X-Men book, and it's hey James, have you ever seen any of this stuff before?
No.
What'd you think?
I don't know. It was just crappy. The art was great. I
guess that's I think that's maybe the consensus. Yeah.
We just had so much tarot.
Yeah, this is the thing I kind of read the last. And I just kind of looked at it, and like James, I'll say something provocative. I think that I think Milo Manara is up there with Frank Quitely as far as draftsmanship and storytelling and backgrounds and action and shit like that. But he wastes it drawing pouty lips, women who constantly look like they're trying to suck dick, and then puffy vaginas, and just like women just like pissing in the street and rubbing themselves, like he's super perv. But he's so good at it. But I mean, like, as far as like just raw ability, like and draftsmanship and stuff like that, like he's one of the greats. It's just a shame, that he focuses on just this one thing. But and I think that's why I put him with Jim Balent.
Hey, this sounds like this is a Kindle review of 4.2 out of 5, by the way. I feel like that's a little high.
Well, it sucks because it's it's the
X-women. I do know what you mean, like I'm just revisiting the thongs on the Sea-Doo scene.
Yeah, the X.
And
the
I
X-Women
mean,
get
like
that treatment.
it's really hard to put together like a yacht scene like that with the sea-doos and the beds and stuff. It's just smooth, like you say. There's sadly great architecture to this art, but like, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it other than that.
Yeah, because the story is stupid. It's basically like the X-women, lose their powers and end up in some sort of high adventure anyway, where they're briefly enslaved.
Well, pirates take Rachel, and then the rest have to go after them. Except that you're right. No, the rest of them do get briefly enslaved by that cargo, the plane cult.
Yeah. In just it's all fetish art. It's just a reason to have fetish art with these like X characters, but it seems like this is right up. This is what Chris Claremont always wants to do.
So true.
Since the Dark Phoenix saga, if not before, and it's finally like let loose in all of its glory, and he just must have been like a pig in shit, just like. Finally, with a fellow accomplice within a land in which he could get away with it.
I love the last page. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at.
Well, where all the ladies are dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they've rescued Emma, and
there's like a pervert pirate, and everybody's just like fully unleashed.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's just awful. I don't know.
I mean,
it's great. I'd like to keep them in the running, but I can't. You can't compete with Tarot. This was fun. This could have beat Witchblade also, though.
I think so.
Just from the storm sequence or the Psylocke sequence, the hug scene or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Putting against Kit and Tarot, but I like Tarot was always going to make the final.
Yeah.
And
really,
I like catching Storm vagina to the face too. Nice touch.
In the earlier on when he tries to there's a couple Storm in that pirate guy. Or are we talking about that?
No, it's I can't. Who is that? Kitty Pryde catches Storm as she's falling off a waterfall.
Oh right, yeah, and they're all like, and it looks like they're having like a
great job. I mean, let's just let the action do the talking.
You could honestly, I hardly read this because I was like, I don't see the point. Like, this is just a vehicle for nonsense.
This artist's a criminal though. Like, and I do know what you mean by saying like basically it looks like Frank Quitely drew a porno.
Yeah. And this isn't even like this is not a good work for him. He's done much better, but I think even this is indicative of like the level this guy's at. I think if you ever see like a collection or something like that, I'd recommend it. It's a thing. But Tarot advances.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we beat the books to death, what's the final bracket looking like here?
So we got Lady Death versus Red Sonja versus Tarot.
Oh, it's a triple header?
Yeah. 3-way.
Okay, well, nobody can hang with Tarot.
It's just Tarot all the way.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay, you got something.
Yeah, like, is it because Tarot depends on whether or not Skeleton Man's like just there to deliver some brutal justice. I think that's so this is a situation where they're fighting each other. So
who could win in a fight? I mean, well,
Tarot sucks. She's
she's terrible. I don't. It's
got to be Lady Death.
I don't even think she could beat Red Sonja. She'd have a hard time. Lady Death's like the fucking Silver Surfer. You can't beat her.
Yeah. This bracket's lopsided.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me put this to you.
Okay.
Lady Death, gets her infantilized wish to not have conflict, and then Red Sonja's gonna fucking strike where there's weakness.
I think Lady
boot to the brand stem, sword between the
that's
fucking clavicle.
I think Lady Death actually would fit really like perfectly within the tarot universe. Like I think if she arrived there, like that's exactly what would happen to her. She would be infantilized like tarot is, and made into like this sex positive, just like wicked chick, and she would finally be like at peace and just remember all of her lovers and stuff like that.
At peace in a great cat relationship, maybe.
Yeah. Until Red Sonja comes in and what the fuck is this?
Yeah, because she won't stand for a man fighting for her or whatever.
No.
That said, Lady Death has like cosmic powers, so it's pretty hard to
What about what's his name there? Her manslave. He might deal out a couple backhands here and there.
That's right.
I still feel that they don't have superpowers and stuff. I think even Tarot has like she could kind of fly, I guess, and teleport. Yeah, she's got something
she
going
did that
on.
like Inferno spell. Like she did some real
that's right.
Magic. Yeah.
She can Sailor Moon it against Tarot or against Lady or Red Sonja, sorry. Yeah, so if we ran it as a fight, I think Lady Death takes the whole thing. If we run it as far as like draftsmanship and fucking cool comic art goes, I think it's got Red Sonja. And then I think like pure awesomeness, it's Tarot, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good summation.
Like if you want to read I would say like bar none, like if you want to just read like a smutty comic and see some boobs, like you may as well just read Tarot. Cut to the chase. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'd have to agree.
I think it's a little bit more than like a tiny bit more than that, because like it also has like some sort of ideology behind it. It's not like reading Hustler. It's more like we've said this, like a sex positive ritual or some shit like that, which is a little different. That's a different spice.
It's true. It's like I don't know. Fuck, I want to say it's like reading the National Enquirer. I
kind of like that. Yeah,
you're gonna get what you came for.
Yeah, but it's not going to be too dirty and it's definitely not going to like get into the nitty gritty of anything. Like getting back to like
no, it's just going to be
surface.
It's going to be what you need,
baby. It's going to be the Bat Baby.
You'll be able to read it. I don't know.
You can put it on the newsstand. I don't think this goes on the newsstand though, right?
No, you can't. Where do you even fucking buy this?
Yeah, I don't think you. What, Tarot? You've got to talk to your dealer, man. You got to talk to your local comic shop distributor.
No,
you gotta ask.
Hey guys,
you can get it on Comixology as well, though, and also on Amazon.
After this, I gotta talk about my comic book store. But we'll wrap first.
Okay, we don't want to throw your comic book store under the bus because he knows who you are.
No, he doesn't.
Just in case, though. Well, because
it's not nice. It's not. I don't want.
Oh, it's not nice. A local comic shop that isn't nice.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was fun. I don't know what we're gonna do next time, but I was personally I was kind of hoping we could do some more Mark Millar.
It's gonna be hard to come back from this.
Yeah. But I think if we came back to some Mark Millar in the month of March and had a Millar March.
I like to call it a Millar Munch.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
Now all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.